Well, if nothing else, at least I'm getting quite a few artifacts. I mean, you've got to enjoy that. Hey buddy, we're doing this again, huh? Playing this game again. You and me. You and me, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. You and me, Antimatter and Sparky, we're gonna do this. Let's do this. Right. I hate Antimatter so completely. It's fine. It's mostly fine. Yes. I do accept that playing Beyond mode it is gambling in itself, because you don't know you're going to get something. So you're sort of gambling with time, and it'd just be nice to make a little progress. You know what would actually be nice is if, upon completion of a Beyond run, you got a guaranteed Divine. I don't think it would be that much to ask for, personally, because Divine is kind of difficult. Sorry, not but Beyond. Excuse me. Beyond mode is kind of difficult, and I would like it to guarantee a Divine, just because having to replay it over and over again, it's not incredibly satisfying. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Well, I completely misread that situation then. Oh well. That is often the final nail in the coffin right there, but there's no point in throwing the run just because of a single mistake. So we'll see how we do. I mean, I might still get a good item. I'm still going to get some. There are enough minions from a hunter's... Oh, that's why. It's because it was all twos, wasn't it? Sorry, I was misreading that. Yeah, there's enough familiars in a hunter's Beyond run. I can afford one or two, especially on a level where the stage power is quite low. It's a shame that I'm now missing some familiars, and it's a shame that I've now blown my opened with that accident streak. Oh yeah, it's Prestige soon, isn't it? That's something to look forward to. What have we got? Misty. Yeah, it's a lot of cash actually. Right. I mean, it's interesting, but it's not good. The odds of getting electric are pretty low. And then we get... Yeah, you like grappling hook. That's fine. That's kind of neat. That protects us from minion loss. It's possibly a worthwhile insurance policy. Also, I'm playing on large stages, so I'm going to get slightly more loot than I normally would anyway. So, yeah, I may end up just getting a little more cash than I could normally expect from a standard run. I think really, wherever possible, I'm just going to continue to play with emblems. I used to try to avoid them because I was hoarding them for situations where I really needed them. It's becoming quite clear to me now that there won't be that many situations that are really worth holding onto them for. Apart from the particularly rare emblems that give you unique, unique unlocks. There are only 2 of them that I know of. I think there are only 2 that have been discovered, and I think people do have all of the emblems and all of the game's unlocks now. So I gather that's all been worked out. Yeah, it's Elemental Triumvirate and Computer Simulation. I forget what Elemental Triumvirate actually gives you as an unlock. I know Computer Simulation gives you the Divine Pound of Flesh. I'm not incredibly interested in Divine Pound of Flesh. I just want the unlock. But I did have a that's where I used my fortune cookie. Had a run the other day where I was trying to unlock. Well, I was trying to complete the computer simulation, and ended up trying to blow up the Beyond Ego and died, and I still don't understand why. I'm not certain that Beyond Ego is actually a separate, unique boss. And if that's the case, I'm going to get his details in the wiki if I can. Because, you know, wiki needs a finishing. We're doing well, but it's not a one-man job, even though we... I'd say the wiki itself is probably the job of... I think we've got maybe somewhere like 5 core contributors at the moment. There are more people showing up every now and then, which is actually really cool to see. I realise also that it's a little bit absurd referring to playing a video game and putting entries into a wiki as research. I suspect that may be literally accurate, but just a little bit silly. I'm certainly not trying to aggrandise this hobby. It's not achieving anything of particular worth, but I am enjoying the time, and I'm enjoying the. It's a bit of a challenge working out what things do, and it's not often you get to play a game where everything hasn't already been discovered, you know? The majority of games I've played have been well and truly worked out some time before I started playing them. I don't tend to buy brand new games. But this, with it being a fairly small affair, you actually do stand a bit of a chance of being able to contribute and, you know. I think the last time I did anything really like this was when I tried to play Llama Lana 2. I tried to do what I did with the first one and play for as long as I could bear to without using a wiki. Did kind of okay, I guess. I ended up. I think what finally broke the wiki. I'm not sure what word you'd use actually, but what finally got me to start consulting the wiki was the. I forget what the item's called. It's the one that's when you use it on the blood gates, it changes where they're pointing to, and I just hadn't worked out what they did. So I went into the blood gate, wondered why it just didn't go anywhere, and kind of just left it be. Bit silly, really. I should have suspected there was more going on. Right then, only 2 around here, so 1 down here. Yep. And it's a 50-50. That's disappointing, but acceptable. Oh yeah, because the rabbit foot can reveal monsters and actually it just displays the monster. Right, okay. Right, well if I win this, then what have we got? Dangerous is... actually kind of sucks, because that's the point of me taking the Hunter Mastery. That sucks, that's great, but then that was baked in anyway. So what's in the shops? Now that's interesting. You take this. Okay. How do I have 2 legendaries right now? I don't have Godhead. Sorry, Godhood. That's really odd. I don't have any effects that would give me that. I should have gone to research. Oh, look. I'm glad I didn't buy Pound of Flesh now. Pop that. Minus 8 stage power. Yeah, okay, we're on a 1-1. That's fine. Scratch that. See a statue. More loot, more defense. At worst, you can take 3 items from me. But I'm going to start up here. What was spawn? Oh, because rabbit, yeah, right. I always forget to use the sea chest thing before. Oh, it's taking it away from me now. Anyway, I always forget to use it before reducing the stage power. But then I'd like to reduce the stage power as soon as possible so that I don't forget to reduce the stage power. Yeah, just keep away from him. Goodness knows the rabbit foot might release him from his prison at any given moment anyway. So that is definitely one, and then that, and then that. Okay, we're on to something here. Obelisk, activate 4 orbs. Probably not going to happen. I thought I just heard something good spawn. No, it must have been the obelisk. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm glad that Rabbitfoot is completing that daily mission for me. There we go. Lovely. I don't really need the tokens, but yeah, I got some tokens. So that is, yeah, sure, take you for free, basically. I don't need the cash for anything else. This is playing out to be it's a nice shape, you know, plenty of empty space, which does mean that any monsters that there are on this board are going to be really packed in tight, hopefully. But maybe the rabbit's foot can just bail me out. Grappling hook. I don't think that actually does anything here. Am I right? Fill random corner cells until one's opened that has a monster. Yeah, because if I just zoom out. Yeesh. Does that even. No. Oh, no, I got one in the corner down there. That's some kind of value. I mean, it's about all I can do with my mana right now, so. Yep. Oops, no, I really should be making the most out of that mercenary while he's still in action. Although he's very unlikely to kill himself. I'd say this one's looking quite favourable. I mean, your Big Bang Run is harder to fail. Of course, it guarantees a pretty fat wad of XP as well. It's not impossible to fail, it's just less likely. And you know, that's enough. I think that, because it can't be these two, can it? So that's solved. I should have single solved that. Yeah, that's what you want. Getting a little bit too cocky around him, actually. Because all I need is for there to be 1-0, and he is free. And I don't want that. I want him to stay on his silly island. This is also, yeah, a bit of a risk, but we'll just clean up as much space around him as we can. Make it easier just to solve all the other sections. As long as we don't actually accidentally release him, then we're still okay. Although the rabbit might still do it. We've got to keep an eye on him. But yeah, we're pretty well, you know, pretty well cut off over there, which is kind of ideal. Then, yeah, I'll just go solve down here for a minute. Doesn't really make much of a difference to me. Is my dude still alive? Is he just wandering around upstairs? Yeah, he's just doing his thing. Having a grand old time. Look at him there. Could I solve up here? Yeah. It really doesn't matter where I solve, as long as I'm cleaning up. suppose really it's better if I work in a methodical kind of fashion and actually, you know, commit to solving one area. I don't know, while I'm up there I might as well just take a look at things. It really doesn't matter. I suppose you might find it frustrating to watch, just moving around and... I mean, I do find that when I'm watching someone play this, admittedly the only person really playing this at the moment is Wariso, I do instinctually sort of try to solve along, because you get into that headspace, so that can be a little problematic if they're not thinking the same way you are, but it's okay. Well, if you're having problems with the way I'm playing, you know, you'll be okay. Don't worry about it. If it makes you uncomfortable, I actually do apologise though. I know I've got a little bit of a, I won't say non-standard mean way of thinking about things, but I do tend to, I think I've got a bit of a, what I always like to think of as a bit of a fractured way of just actually thinking. I'll sort of think about a problem for a second and then pop over to another one for... Yeah, I've got sort of like 3 different streams of sort of conscious thought, sort of vying for attention at any given time. It's a little bit chaotic sometimes. I don't know if that's normal for people though. It may well be, but sometimes makes it a little bit hard to hold up a conversation, and certainly it gets in the way of writing occasionally when I'm trying to finish a sentence before I've started it. But it's fine. I forget which of the Discworlds it was. It may have actually been Nanny York's cookbook. But there's a line in there that's saying that you know, the world would be very dull if we were all the same. Yeah, it's true. Of course, I mean, I'm not in any way attracted to myself, so that would be my marriage ruined. Actually, there are quite a few similarities between me and my wife. With a similar sort of mentality around a lot of things, and some... not as many shared interests as you might think, but certainly not that many differences either. I think we're fairly well suited. In fact, I'm quite sure we're well suited. I mean, we've been married for, I don't even know, like 5 years? Probably longer than... No, about 5 seems right actually, because I'm still trying to work out what you're supposed to do for 1 or 2 of the anniversaries without... Oops, having certain tools. It's like wood, that's a bit of a tricky one. But, yeah, we'll work it out. I'm going to do the traditional wedding gifts thing, and they've got a couple of lists online that it was quite clearly lay out, like, you know, like year 1 is paper, year 2 is, you know, whatever. I think 4 was fruits, and, yeah, if you can get a bit creative with it, it gets a little easier, because some are more challenging than others. Although I did stumble on one list that was apparently put together by an American department store, and my goodness, it shows. It was like, I think after anniversary 3, it starts getting onto like watches and property and vehicles. Sorry, unless you're an oil sheik or something, then no. I mean, I'm not going to say in any way that we struggle for money, because we're both employed in skilled labour type jobs. I'm just going to solve quickly now and get this out of the way. We are by and large doing okay, but that's the level of decadence that we simply cannot aspire to, let alone afford. Yeah, this is... Provided Burgles doesn't do anything stupid, I think we're onto an okay thing here. 7, you're rare, thankfully. 2 left, and the other one's up there, and the other, yeah, I don't care about you anymore at all. One is down here. So, what's in my chests? Nothing. An artifact. Here. Artifact. And here. Not as good as its very similarly styled counterpart, but I don't think I even want a Paragon Rod at this point. I couldn't do much with it, apart from try and get the all matched arms achievement. Yeah, I'll take that as a nice easy win. Take prestige. Yeah. Now we just gotta hope for a divine. Gastrogard Microbe of Righteous Indignation. And no whammies, no whammies. What have you got? Chocolate box. Well. No, I suppose that's my fault for pinning my hopes and dreams on this, really. See ya.